Colorado produce is integral to the economies of rural Colorado and to consumers that love local produce. Farm families are at the core of this valued product, and when they thrive, Coloradans thrive. Today we celebrate Colorado produce farmers with a glimpse of their stories and perspectives.
My cousin Michael and myself are fourth-generation farmers. Our great-grandfather came over from Japan and they started farming in 1915. After college, I came back to the family farm. It's been about 33 years now. One of the things that we've learned through the years, through my parents, his parents, is just hard work and dedication. Over the years, we've prided ourselves in providing a safe, quality product to the consumers. We're hoping to continue this with the next generation.
We are here today at Knapp's Farm Market in Rocky Ford, Colorado. We are a small family business. I am currently the fifth generation to help own and operate our business. We have a sixth generation actively participating. We have been in business for 38 years at this current location. We sell mainly our own produce that we grow here in the valley. We also sell other products produced locally, honey and western slope fruit. My mother grew up in this business and had a farm market as a child and young adult. Now we operate with my two brothers, my sister, their spouses, and the sixth generation of my nieces, as well as my parents and my grandmas, who grow the local produce that we offer here at our market as well as in grocery stores.
Being a beginning farmer comes with lots of opportunities for joy and success and an equal, if not greater, number of challenges. We're first generation growers, Stacia and I. Neither one of us grew up directly in agriculture. One way or another we fell into orchard agriculture. It's a really spectacular way to farm. When we decided we wanted to do this, we had to figure out a lot of things. We had to make a lot of assessments about what the future might have in store. Some of the things we really are very concerned with, one in particular, is climate. We're really taking a gamble on the fact that this is going to remain a viable project. When you look around the county, we have this thing that we call the fruit line, which is where you can see orchard fruit being grown. And when you take a look at satellite imagery from the 80s till now, that fruit line has constricted in dramatic ways. We've lost thousands and thousands of acres in Colorado that used to be in fruit. And one of the things that impacts that is climate. Another reason that we've seen that fruit line constrict is the economy. It's harder and harder for mid-scale growers, for a region like ours, to survive. We hope that down the road we'll be able to continue selling into these retail chains and these market channels that allow us to grow at volume. But it's something that we think a lot about. Are we going to be able to survive, not just as growers, but as a growing region here in Colorado? You know, we have a long history of growing fruit in Delta County, and it's something that we'd like to see continued, and we'd like to be a part of that moving forward.
My family's actually been growing potatoes around the Greeley-LaSalle area since 1901, so I'm technically a fourth generation potato grower. Northern Colorado used to be a huge potato hub. When I was like 10 years old, there were 64 potato growers in this area, and now it's just us that's left on potatoes. So lots of changes. Weld County's still huge in ag, but between water, labor, and oil and gas, it's had a lot of effect and a lot of changes.
So I'm often asked, what's the difference between field corn and sweet corn? You can tell with field corn, you're going to get leaves sticking up like this if you're driving by a cornfield. Whereas, as you can see with sweet corn, the leaves flop over. But probably the biggest difference between field corn and sweet corn is that you really can't eat field corn. Whereas with sweet corn, you can go out in a field, pull it right off the stalk and eat it raw. That's the sweetest you'll get.
I'm fifth generation. I grew up in this industry, and my kids are here as well and are part of it today. Talbots came here to Colorado in 1918. The other side of my family, the Yeagers, came in 1907, are the original peach people here in the Palisade area. Peaches is our backbone. We do other things, cherries, pears, wine grapes, but the peaches is our most important thing that keeps us here.
We as farmers are stewards of the land that we're growing on. There's some incredible, just phenomenal people out there that have been raising incredible food on their farms for generations and generations. So when I first got into it, it was maybe the thing that was most important to me was the idea of stewardship, was the idea of farming in a way that was attentive to our environment, to the land, to the soil, to the animal populations, and to the human populations that we share the space with. Ultimately, the goal is that we as an industry are a part of creating positive change for our environment and our climate. In the news right now, there's a lot of talk about what it's going to take to resolve some of these challenging climate issues, and sometimes I think agriculture is in the crosshairs. But I think the reality is that agriculture is one of the industries best poised to make a really positive difference, and in many cases is making that difference and maybe not being recognized for it.
Colorado fruit and vegetable growers deliver the cornerstone of health and wellness, fresh produce. Yet many wonder, why can't Colorado support produce farmers even more? Business threats abound for Colorado produce growers, from labor and climate to regulations and markets. However, their stories remain mostly untold. Warm, easy, buy local messages are conveyed by mass media, yet Coloradans are typically unaware of the risks to their supply of local produce. Two of CFVGA's core goals are to promote Colorado produce and advocate for Colorado produce farmers. CFVGA is always looking for ways to better tell the story of produce farm opportunities and challenges.